Andrew Tate in 2024 is getting desperate for attention, and he's starting to get back to his inflammatory, just say anything I can for clicks self, that person that back in 2022 went super viral when most people, myself included, first became aware of him. He was on the internet a little bit before that apparently as well, but in 2022 he started saying a bunch of wild stuff, went super viral on TikTok, etc., became super famous, and then he got arrested, and he's still going through that. But basically his entire online presence in 2023 was kind of trying to pretend like he was something he's not, or trying to recreate his image. But I think now, like, that doesn't work on the internet. That's one of the crap parts about the internet, is you kind of have to be polarizing and wild to get engagement. I don't know if the algorithms, I think they should probably try to fix that a bit, but that's the way it is now. And think about it, back in 2023, I didn't really hear that much about Andrew Tate. I don't think many people did. It was only around the context of him fighting that legal battle in Romania. But so now he comes out with this tweet basically saying to white men, like, I don't even know if he believes some of this stuff. He's just trying to trigger people. And he did successfully do so, as now Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly, many people in the conservative circles, are reacting to this. But he basically says, "Dear white men, you're fucked. You're being replaced because none of you have children." And then he goes on a little bit longer about basically his main point here is that other religions, you have more than one woman, and therefore you can have more children because you're not relying on just the fact that it takes like 9 months or a year or whatever for a woman to have a child and then get pregnant again. Now, aside from the fact that this is just sensationalist, say whatever I can kind of to get clickbait and get engagement on my posts, Andrew Tate sells this Hustler University course, and he sells lots of online content to the average young man. And this message, though, he's sending out, I think, is very antithetical to the well-being of the average young man, because he's basically saying you have to become a top one, even more than that. You have to become like a top 1/10 to 1% person so you can have enough financial freedom to support all these different families. The vast majority of the people that are going to be buying this course, who are fans of Andrew Tate, who like his content, maybe they're 18, 19 years old. Yeah, you can sell them a dream and be like, oh, don't worry about it. In 5 years with this course, you'll be so rich that you can have a Bugatti and you can have 5 different wives. The reality is the vast majority of men who take that online Hustler University or just buy Andrew Tate's message in general are going to be extremely let down if they actually believe this, that they should be having, like he says, 5 children a year and just having all these different chicks, all these different women at the same time. You need to be an incredibly high earner in a Western country to be able to pull it off today, if you even want to. And the other somewhat ironic thing about this is Andrew Tate has positioned himself in the media landscape as a guy who's taking on the elites of the world. Like, he's sort of this anti-elite person of telling young men mostly, the mainstream media, the politicians, they're all lying to you. I'm the guy who's more on your side. I'll speak to your real problems and your real issues. The irony of this take that you should be having, like he says in this tweet, 5 kids a year, it's like the most elitist take I can think of. It's just going to be only advice that the top, like a person that has $10 million net worth or more, will be able to pull off, again, if they want to, and they can find a bunch of women that want to. I can't even think of a more elitist take than this. So it takes like this, plus all the information that's come out since he initially went viral. Like when 2022, he initially went viral for kind of some wild, funny stuff he was saying online. It was kind of like, oh, that's just the crazy guy that lives in Romania. But since that's come out, there's been a lot of information revealed about how he made a lot of his money through that super shady webcam business where he was actually typing to guys. Again, plus takes like this, it's getting harder and harder to continue to take Andrew Tate seriously. And a lot of people still do. He still goes on a lot of big platforms. We'll see what happens moving forward. But yeah, it is getting hard to take him seriously. I'd imagine if you're someone that took the Hustler University course and you're publicly like saying that you really like this guy and you're a big fan of this guy, perhaps it's a little bit harder. I mean, I don't know. I think in the United Kingdom, amongst young men, he still is very popular there. The other ironic thing is that the people in society that hate Andrew Tate the most, in my opinion, are the ones responsible for someone like Andrew Tate becoming popular. This is what's going to happen when, for 15, 20 years, you tell young men that a lot of their natural impulses, a lot of the things that they would naturally want to do from a healthy standpoint, such as competing, be ambitious, try to get lots of money, try to have lots of wealth and success for yourself and your family. A lot of that was so obviously discouraged all over society in the last 10, 20 years, probably even a little bit longer. And a good example of this is you have guys like Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk who are labeled as brutal people. They get shamed all the time. They all constantly, at least in peak woke, like in 2020, 2021, 22 probably, they were all repeatedly trying to be canceled. So the ironic and somewhat funny thing really is all the people who are the biggest champions of cancel culture and labeling all these different aspects of masculinity as toxic are the ones who are responsible for Andrew Tate's rise. If you have nobody in the world, or nobody huge, at least on the world scene, speaking to young men, they're going to listen to somebody. They're going to listen to the person that tells them that they're not morons and that they have real problems and that, hey, I can get you money and I can sell you a fancy car and all these things.
People like this result from people like we're talking about on the left. These disgusting overreaches by these leftist fools who are trying to erase sex differences, as you were pointing out, Mary, and so on. They've led to the backlash, which I don't support in this way, of people like Andrew Tate.
I agree with Megyn Kelly here. And maybe people like Jordan Peterson, the psychologist who tells you to take personal responsibility and tells you to clean your room, maybe he's not so toxic, obviously. And if you keep labeling guys like that as crazy, or like that in that movie with that Olivia Wilde, this insane guy, this insane character in this movie, you'll get another Andrew Tate come up. You'll just get the loudest, charismatic guy pop up who doesn't give a shit about the mainstream media, doesn't care about getting canceled, and he'll just win over the next generation of young men. So with that said, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. Have a good day.